Hello everybody and welcome to MFL Total Access. I'm Jafar Hassan, he's William Power, he's Baba Lisa. I'm the new host of the show now.
And that's where the show goes downhill, folks. We got the three amigos on the show today, the three musketeers, the three, I won't say it live on camera, but we're doing the show as a trio this week. It's going to be hectic, it's going to be fun, but I'm excited because we got playoffs.
Yes, we do. And the matchups are set. The first round buys are set. The teams that are home are going to stay home.
They're not set on the website though.
They're not. You could
They
also
will be by the time this video is posted.
Facts.
You could also come and support, even if your team is eliminated.
The playoffs will be at Le Bear.
They will.
Yes.
That's great news.
With nice grass.
Jeff, do we have an off the field announcement to make? Heard there was big news.
I'm back with my ex.
That's not what I meant.
Oh no! Terry is engaged! Oh, I thought you were talking about
I was not.
He's on the show. He thinks he wants to steal
So speaking about relationships and Jeff going back with the Cowboys, Terry is back. No, he never left. Yes, Terry's engaged, folks. Massive news. Super happy for him. The Greek community is going bananas downtown. Yes.
So Terry, even with an injury, getting people rings left and right.
100%.
Keeping the legend alive.
Did you, were you able to go on a knee?
Yes, it hurt as fuck, but I wasn't able to go on a knee.
Margarita, come on now. This guy's a good guy.
A lot of people were happy at the field. They were asking if Terry was around.
I'll be there on Saturday.
He'll be there on Saturday. Because yes, another big news, Terry can walk now.
Yes.
Wow. That's great news. That's great
Ditch the
news.
crutches.
Yeah, because he's walking around like my grandmother with her cane, but he's doing the job regardless. So good stuff.
Today is a good day. Dallas won, Miami won, Terry's engaged. He can walk again.
Yeah.
He'll be there on Saturday. I'm taking over the show.
Life's good, guys. Life's good.
I know we started the show. Josh thought we'd restart, right?
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah.
We were not supposed to have Josh.
We don't ever restart the shows or cut anything out anymore. Man, this must be the worst intro ever.
Yeah, for real.
I actually like it.
Do we start D1?
Yeah, it's got the awkwardness.
And so D1.
Yep.
Do we recap games or go straight to the playoffs?
We can recap quickly. I think recap's in order.
Iron Wolves being clutch.
Yes. So Iron Wolves, we had to split our two games. We played against A-Team, then against Gokak. Really good game against A-Team. It was a back and forth game. We had the lead for the majority of the game, and A-Team's defense came up clutch. They ended up getting a few key stops in the second half. They took the lead late in the game. A nice touchdown by Dylan Daou, once again, who's been the partner in crime with Mike Roy there on both of his teams. And yeah, our last drive, we hadn't scored in the second half. We marched on the field. We had a third and goal, kind of a broken play. I rolled out of the pocket. Maïs came in the back of the end zone, and I was able to throw it to him for a TD. Game-winning touchdown there. Yeah, we completed the comeback there after being last for a bit of the part of the season. Yeah, we beat 18. We lost later on to Gokak, which didn't end up mattering because the points against and everything. Yeah. So we snuck into the last playoff spot, but it was a really good game between us and Gokak, and a tight one between us and A-Team as well.
I think the big story here that you didn't mention is Trollers are not in the playoffs.
Yes.
That's
and
crazy.
It's the third time in the last 4 seasons that they're missing the playoffs. Safe to say that, preseason we were talking about 1-2, like 1A, 1B, Outlaws, Trollers together in the same sentence. Is that dynasty done? Like dynasty / powerhouse of a team done?
I'm not ready to say it's done just yet. I would have liked to see how the season played out if Max was there the last 2 weeks. Unfortunately, it wasn't. They weren't able to get it done. I think it was, 4 straight losses for the Trollers? Yeah, I don't want to say it's done, but Jaff, definitely a tough pill to swallow for the Trollers.
Yeah, I'm surprised that... how many games did Max start? 8? Yeah. So
I think he missed the last 2, yeah.
The 2 most important games of the season, he wasn't there. Sad to see, but at the same time, you have to make it happen before the last week of the playoffs.
Yeah.
He lost a big one to Centurion during the season that he should have won. Then a tight one against Gokak in week 9. So it's tough, but I wouldn't say that Trollers, the dynasty is dead.
Missing the playoffs 3 times out of the last 4 seasons is pretty intense.
Yeah,
right?
but D1 is.
You could argue the only other team that missed the playoffs more often is Bitter Boys.
Facts.
And they didn't even play the
crazy.
season.
Facts, but D1 is really, really stacked, and they had some injury problems. GC wasn't there like 100% all year. Lesniak, he made a crazy catch, and the play right after he got down this weekend against Outlaws. So they've been unlucky.
Is that a serious injury?
I think it was hamstring. He was like
shit.
limping after he wasn't able to throw for his Division 4 team, Division 5 team.
Yeah.
Manu
So
scored.
yeah, I think
Trollers
Trollers
scored a lot of touchdowns, not a lot of passes.
Yeah, I think Trollers are unlucky more than like bad, but
Because look, Taylor, like they made it to the finals last year against you guys, which was a high-scoring game. I think that
Did you see like a nice pick in that game? I think the first pick of the game. Did you see it?
the first I saw Dave's pick. Yeah, Dave had a really
No,
nice
no,
pick
no,
on
no.
that.
that's the second one.
Jav had a very nice interception of that game. I've seen it 1,000 times. Good stuff, my man. Not gonna happen if you play me in the finals, but
Talking
yeah,
about
no,
Trollers.
I think it's definitely like surprising to see Trollers miss that often. But I think once they make the playoffs, they make a run. So like that's why I wouldn't
you
say
had to
them
win
as
one
over.
game to make a run in D1 playoffs. Only
Yeah.
4 teams make it, right? Okay, interestingly enough, we changed the tiebreaker rules before the season started. And when we have a multi-team tie like we had right now between Trollers, Gros Coq, and A-Team,
Yeah,
it was previously head-to-head win percentage amongst the tie teams.
right.
And last season in the spring in Division 4, clearly the best team out of like an 8-team tie was a team missing out. And that's what kind of motivated us to make the change this year. And it kind of backfired right now because when you look at the head-to-head with Trollers, A-Team, and Iron Wolves, Trollers are 4-0.
Against those
Trollers
two
beat
teams?
A-Team
Wow.
twice, they beat Iron Wolves twice.
But the other side of the coin is who would be out, and is that fair to that team?
Well,
Right? Like,
yeah.
so like with Outlaws, if Outlaws are in, that means one of these 4 teams that
You
are
mean
in now
Trollers?
are out.
Trollers would be in.
Yeah, who?
Let's say we
so,
go
yeah, Trollers would be in, and then one of the 4 teams that are in now would be
And
out.
then A-Team and Iron Wolves split.
Yeah,
So they each had a
So it's
1
Iron
and 3.
Wolves
So
out.
Iron Wolves would be out because then we'd go to points against.
Prince against and
yeah. I mean, I think we're deserving of being in, but I totally get what you're saying.
Yeah, but I mean, it's hard right now because Trollers finished the same record as you guys and A-Team.
Yeah,
And they're the ones on the outside looking in. When they beat you twice, they
did
beat
go 2-0
A-Team twice.
against us.
So wouldn't you also say they're deserving to be in that
yeah,
case?
yeah.
But the thing is, in Division 1, I think all 6 teams deserve to be in the playoffs. If you had asked me the question at the beginning of the season,
Yeah.
who would you bet on not making the playoffs, I would have said Iron Wolves because it's a new team coming in D1, and A-Team just because they lost so many big pieces.
Yeah.
And they lost Dave in week 2, I believe. So, like, you have to believe that those 2 teams would miss the playoffs. And now you have Centurion, who made the finals maybe two years ago. And you had Trollers, who made the final last year.
Yeah.
D1 is stacked. So,
Yeah,
I don't
D1 is
think,
stacked.
like, Iron Wolves deserve to make the... All 4 teams that made the playoffs deserve to make the playoffs. And Trollers just missed out by a little bit.
The team that finished first finished with 6 wins. Like that's unheard of. Usually you have like 7, 8, 9 wins to like be Division 1 number 1 seed going into the playoffs, right? So that's enough for the recap. Let's preview.
Let's preview.
Okay,
Let's start with the Gros Coq Arnos rematch of the semifinals of a couple of years ago when we had the.
henchman.
Oh yeah, it's true. Well, there are a lot of henchmen players on this Arnos team, right?
Yeah, for sure. I would so like a rematch of
Including
henchman,
yourself, Chris.
in that game.
John was part of that team.
Yeah, and John is kind of part of our team too. It'll be the rubber match between the 2 teams. We won the first game in the first week of the season against them. They beat us the very last game of the season.
Round 3.
Round 3, a lot to look forward to. I think if I'm taking myself out of the game and I'm just thinking about the game as like an analyst here, the matchup to watch is Stanley against Dom.
I agree.
Dom being able to buy time, Stanley being really fast. What's going to happen in this game? How many sacks will Stanley get? How many rushing yards will Dom get? It's going to be a lot of the game is going to be decided between those 2 players.
Because since that was the easy matchup to watch, what would
Yeah.
you say is the second matchup to watch in this game?
I say the comparison of both snappers is going to be big.
And do we know who's snapping for Iron Wolves? Because I think Mo did not finish the game.
Yes, it'll most probably be Iggy snapping for us.
Is Mo okay?
Yeah, Mo's good. He's,
Okay.
I don't think he's going to be able to make the game.
Okay.
He's okay. But yeah, so Iggy for us and Vince. We were talking about with Jaffe says Vince. He's used as like a deep threat, right? Which is not
Yeah.
something you often see in an offense, which expands the field for Gros Coq.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did a little face when you talked about the comparison of Zeus Center. Like in my mind, like no offense to Iggy, but I think Vince is way superior as a snapper. So it'd be a matchup to watch, but at the same time, like I'd give the edge to Vince any day of the week and like maybe 3 times on Sunday.
Yeah, I mean,
I think the game's on Saturday.
And
It's-
the game is on
the game
Sunday.
is on Saturday. But the thing is, Iggy has I'd say the one thing Iggy has over Vince is a very smart player, but Iggy has that flag experience, and he knows what to do when. He knows how to get open.
Because Vince started playing flag like last week, right?
No, I'm just saying Vince was playing for a while, but Iggy is a flag football nerd, right? He's in other leagues, he writes and stuff like that, so he has, just like Vince, they both have the smarts, but I think the edge goes to Iggy in terms of experience.
Yeah, Vince is leading Gros Coq in receptions, yards, third or fourth in touchdowns. He's clearly Dom's main guy. Not even like
by far.
How would you think a regular snapper is? He's averaging over 8 yards a catch, which is like one of the
impressive.
top averages for snappers, especially in Division 1, right? So
no, he's going on corners, he's going on deep outs,
Yeah.
he's doing everything he can to help Dom out. And like we know, Gros Coq have an offense that are mostly broken plays. And after Thomas, the second guy I think in line that can get open for Dom in open space is Vince. So it's going to be hard to cover him for sure.
I think one thing to watch out for in this game is to see, like, you know how, like, especially like in hockey, you see like the third, fourth liners, see like how your depth matches against the other depth. You spoke about Vince, you spoke about Thomas. We didn't mention Alexis Ferrand, who finished the season with 10 touchdowns in 9 games. Nicolas Paquin, who's like one of the guys that we don't really talk about in this team.
He's solid.
Or when we talk about him, we don't talk about him as a rusher.
Yeah.
11 touchdowns in just 8 games for this team. Charles Rousseau-Bélanger, who hasn't been there very often, but he is playoff eligible with 5 games. He has 3 touchdowns in those 5 games. Etienne Maillet-Davio, also playoff eligible with just 5 games. We didn't see him very often.
He has
5 touchdowns, 5 picks in 5 games. So he's averaging a touchdown and a pick a game when he shows up.
Yeah.
Who knows if he's going to be there Saturday, but if he is, they're all players that, like, it's not the first 2-3 players you think of when you think about Gros Coq. And we're going to have to see how that depth on Iron Wolves matches up against them. And if all these guys show up for Gros Coq, it's going to be, I think, a very hard game for Iron Wolves, right? Most of the season, they showed up 6 max. If there's 7 guys, that's like, they're in good shape. Yeah, they got a lot of guys, right?
Yeah.
So but at the same time, when there are only 6 guys, Dom's playing defense, he's averaging almost a pick a game also. Picked you off twice in that last game, right?
I said for the beginning of the season, after seeing him play defense, you want to make sure he doesn't get injured playing deep, but he should be starting defense for them because he's everywhere.
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough to argue, but like at the same time, yes, Iron Wolves are top heavy with Willie, James, and Chris. You also have Mace. You also have Iggy, Jerome, who was big for you guys against A-Team. I heard
Stanley, very big rusher.
Exactly. So I'd give the edge to Gros Coq, obviously, because of experience, because they finished first, because it's really hard to bet against them, but I wouldn't be surprised if Iron Wolves can step up and
because like looking at the Iron Wolves season stats, like it's been like a committee team, right? Like like you said, they're not as top heavy. They only have 1 player in the double-digit touchdowns, so it's Mace with 10. A lot of players like in the 300 or more yards. A lot of great ball distribution, whether you were throwing, whether Iggy was throwing, or whether John was throwing earlier. I think
we've had 4 quarterbacks this year, right? Chris is throwing a game too.
Yeah, so it was great ball distribution regardless of who was throwing. I think you're going to need to have a couple of guys step up. Like you're going to need to have 2 or 3 guys that it's going to be their best game of the season this Saturday for you guys to win that game.
Offensively and defensively.
Fair. We do picks now, we save it for after.
I could do picks now.
Yeah.
Instead of going backwards after we go forward.
Good call. I'm out of this one. My pick will be that it finishes in 1 possession game. I know that's easy to say, but I do think it's going to be a close game. I think we match up very well. It was a close game this past weekend. And I think it's going to be close throughout.
I got Arnold's losing in this one.
Score?
I see it being a 2-possession game. I see you guys coming back out. Gros Coq having the 1-possession lead, scoring, you guys scoring, and like they're always going to regain that 2-possession lead, right? That's how I see it. You guys are going to be chasing because it's going to be either like a turnover on downs early or a bad interception lane. They're going to gain that lead and they won't look back.
Fair. Hope you're wrong.
We talked about matchups against matchups. We talked about Dom and Stanley. We talked about Vince and Iggy. No pressure, my man.
No.
I just feel like you need to be the main piece on offense and defense. Obviously, you're the quarterback. You're going to have the ball in your hand every single play. On defense, you have to step up. James has to step up. Chris has to call a really great defensive scheme on Dom. But if you step up offensively, if you step out defensively, I can see Iron Wolves get the dub. If I had to bet at McDonald's, I think I'll go with Gros Coq. But I wouldn't be surprised like if it's a 1-possession game, like you said, or even less than that.
If there would be an upset, like I could see this upset happening. Like it's definitely an upset I could see happening.
Yeah.
Like we've seen Gros Coq not show up in the playoffs. Like just this spring against Centurions, they got routed completely. Like that was it was like not a fun game to watch. You know, like it was really one-sided. and we've seen Gold go have the 1 seed and lose in the first round of the playoffs as well. So I could very well see it them not making it to the finals. But I just think maybe this season it's their game to lose.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no,
they've been on a roll, right? Like they finished the season first place, and if you asked like a few weeks back,
you probably thought they were going to make the playoffs.
Exactly. So
yeah, no, Dom stepped up big time, and obviously they're favored. So
4 straight wins coming into the playoffs.
Yeah, there you go.
And you've been throwing for 3 games now for
Four.
Arnold?
Four. Yeah,
not bad.
So the other D1 semifinal, Outlaws A team.
Crazy match.
These two teams played against each other in the semifinals of last spring when A team ended up being your spring champions.
Yep.
Meeting again. I think A team has beaten Outlaws 4 straight times.
5.
5?
I think
5.
It's 5, really?
I think 5.
1, 2.
Dylan was
3,
trash
4.
talking the last 2 weeks ago, saying 5. So
No,
I believe.
I believe it's 4 because A team played Outlaws the first game of the spring season. Outlaws won that one. Then they lost, and they lost in the playoffs. That was 2, and they played 2 times this year.
That's way too much math, bro.
I think it's 4.
A team has had Outlaws' number over the last few games.
Yes,
let's
the most
say-
definitely. Yeah.
Either 5 or 4.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
So it's best offense against best defense coming into this game of the division.
Yep.
Yeah.
Outlaws averaging, I believe, 44 points a game on offense. 45 even. And A team giving up 28. And A team is has 70 points against fewer than the second best defense. In the
So
league.
it's not even close.
It's not even close how this A team defense is unheard of in Division 1 MFL football because usually teams give up well over 30 points a game. It's not even about the defense. If you're giving up less than 30, you for sure win that game, right? And
Your offense
doesn't
will
happen
too.
often, yes.
Yeah.
So it's going to be really exciting to watch the offense against the defense in this game.
Yeah.
Both times that A team beat Outlaws this year were close games, right? The most recent one, 45-38.
Yeah.
The one earlier in the season, 26-14. 2-possession game there. What do you think A team's game plan is coming to this game? Because we know how hard it is to beat the same team 3 times in a given season, right? You know when you say if it ain't broke, don't fix.
Yeah.
But you got to kind of do something different because Steve is one of the smartest quarterbacks in the game. He's gonna have a different game plan coming in. He might try to do he knows what he was doing those 2 games did not work, right?
Yeah. For me, exactly what you said, but the opposite direction you're going. For me, it's if it ain't broke, don't fix it. I think at times you can overthink matchups so much. You can overthink what the other guys are going to do. They call a very good defense. It's a defense that, I guess I can say Outlaws have struggled against. They still put up points, but not the same amount of points they're used to putting up. And for Dylan and for that defense, I think it's keeping it simple, doing what you do, calling your game, playing that defense that's going to be in your face, be aggressive, that's going to tug and play physical. Because I think once they overthink it and they try and get too cute with it, that's when they get in trouble. So for A team, it's keeping it simple on the defensive side of the ball, and then for their offense, it's a lot of kissing. It's a heck of a lot of kissing. And then for the offense, do what you do. A team's offense has been putting up points. Dylan's been doing well. I think Hinsley could be incorporated a little bit more in that offense with his speed and what he has to bring with that team. But for A team, if you're asking me their game plan, it's just keeping it simple and doing what they did the last few games against Outlaws.
For me, if we talk about matchups, it's my quarterback of the year against my defensive player of the year. It's Steve against Dylan. It's going to be a chess game.
Yeah.
Dylan's been calling crazy good defense for A team. Terry spoke about numbers.
Yeah.
Obviously, I think for A team, they're going to come in, try to take away the short, and daring Steve to throw over their linebacker, trying to take away Smuda from the equation.
Yeah.
And then forcing Steve to go deep, go on the sidelines deep, and not giving him the easy completion for 3-4 yards because they know Steve's going to go for 4 downs every time. He's never going to punt the ball.
Yeah.
So you don't want him to get 4 yards every time.
Right.
So take away the short and dare him to take away his first, second read, and then force him to make a play, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think that's the matchup that we have to look for. Dylan on defense against Smoot on offense and Steve, and then see what A-Team can do offensively. Because is it the first time Mike's playing in the playoffs in Division 1?
No, he made it to the finals with Revolution.
Oh, facts.
Yeah.
Facts,
when he took over that team. Yeah.
Because I was going to talk about experience, but then, if Mike has that experience, then it shouldn't be a problem for him.
And, when you look at this matchup on paper, I think just saying it out loud gives so much more credit to Dylan as a defensive play caller for A-Team because Kevin, Smuda, and Marvin Steinberg, they're averaging They have a total of 39 touchdowns on the season amongst
39.
the two of them.
Holy
Okay,
cow.
averaging like almost 1,500 yards. And I'm not even mentioning like Jaff, Zvetna on that team as well, right?
Right.
So like Steve threw for 65 touchdowns this season, right? You would think that like this offense is unstoppable, averaging 45 points a game. They combined for 50 points in the 2 games they played against A-Team, right?
Yeah.
Whereas when you look at A-Team, they're led by Ashton on offense and on defense with Dylan. 14 touchdowns in 10 games, but no one else has double-digit touchdowns in this team. No one exceeded the 60 receptions, whereas Outlaws have like 4 guys with over 60 receptions on the season, right?
Yeah.
You'd think like it's not even close on paper, but this game is for sure going to come down to a 1-score game in my mind.
100%.
If not converse, even going into overtime, right?
Yep.
It's going to be like every yard, like when you talk about like gaining 3 yards on first down, like that's going to be like, you're not going to be upset about that, right? Like every yard's going to be hard to gain in this game,
Yeah,
right?
you have to fight for every
Like
yard.
if you're getting 3 yards on a first down, you're ahead of the chains, right?
Isn't
Right?
that crazy? For Division 1, but I totally agree.
Yep.
So what are your predictions in this one?
I can pick this one.
You can pick, Terry?
Yeah.
Okay, you're allowed to pick?
Yeah.
You go first.
Allowed to pick. Like no one's
No,
gonna pick
'cause I
Jaff.
mean the...
No one's gonna knock on my door and take Jaff to jail if he picks this game either, you know?
Man. Are you thinking or want me to go first?
I got
Don't take too much
Outlaws winning on the last play of the game in a similar fashion that A-Team eliminated them from the playoffs
Wow.
in the spring. I see it being Outlaws down with the ball with under a minute left and pulling it off in a game that's going to be won within single-digit points. And like it's two-sided. Like it's like A-Team has Outlaws number, but at the same time, A-Team cannot beat Outlaws infinity times in a row, right? They're not gonna beat Outlaws till they don't exist anymore, right?
Right.
Like Outlaws got to win one of them at some point.
Yeah. I'm going to go A-Team. Give me A-Team 39-36.
Good feeling?
Yeah, it's a gut feeling. It's definitely tough to beat a team like the Outlaws as much as they have been. But A-Team's a special team this year.
Yeah.
Where think
So
about
were they last year, right?
Yeah, but think about the story this year with Dave going down, Michael taking in a quarterback,
Yep.
and everything they have. Yeah, I'm going to go A-Team in a tight one, 39-36.
Okay.
Yeah.
Division 2?
Division 2.
So like throughout the years, D2 has been getting better and better, and it's like almost like a Div like 1 2.0 kind of thing, you know? Like it's just so strong. And like Jeff and I were talking about like certain players in Division 2, and we're like literally everyone on every team besides like Jagerbomb play in a Division 1 team as well, right?
Yeah.
And just to quickly recap what happened last week, so that marquee flex 9 a.m. game between Red Raiders and Tannant was the game that determined who made it into the playoffs. Red Raiders won that game. I think we both picked Tannant in that one, right?
Yes, I picked Tannant.
Mike Rowley throwing 2 touchdown passes. His team still putting up 34 points. One thing I wanted to point out, I said it to Jab before the show, I want to know your opinion on it. Remember that rant Mike Roy went on last year in D2 against Outlaws, naming how many players... Do you remember how many players said that they had D1 players in that roster?
Of the Outlaws?
Yeah, off the top of your head, how many had he said? He said they have...
6?
6?
I think he said 5.
Yeah, I believe it was 5.
5
5 or 6?
Anyway, I was looking at the stats of this game, and like just count how many D1 players of the players I named.
Okay.
So just the guys that had a reception in this game.
Okay.
There was Dylan, Sean Kennedy, Ashton, Devin, Andrew. You still got a couple guys. Like I believe all 5 of those guys could play D1, right?
Yeah.
So like I don't see Mike really complaining about having D1 players on your D2 team right now, you know?
Well, he's got Jerome too, right?
Yeah, Jerome's a
On the team
D1
as well.
player, yeah.
Yep.
He didn't have a reception in this game.
He didn't play the game.
That is why.
Yeah.
And Mike Roy's obviously a D1 quarterback. That
100%.
he's like people knew that already, but now he's proved it by taking a team to the playoffs, right? So this is also a D1 roster playing in D2 the same way
100%.
that Outlaws was last spring. So it's just
D1 and a lot of D1 is D2 and D2 is D1.
yeah,
And
like
we know
when-
that now.
Yeah. Like same thing could be said with like the number of D1 players on Thunder Buddies, Marvels, Nice Cities.
Yeah.
Not only just to single out Red Raiders, just that they were the team that brought that comment up.
Yeah.
So like even Spurts Gang is the D1 team of Bitter Boys. Unfortunately, they went to 110.
Yeah.
It'd be interesting to see if they're going to sign up in D3 next spring.
I doubt it.
That's really surprising, though.
110?
Yeah.
I was sure they'd win one game.
Yeah, me too. Anyway, we're talking about playoff teams. But
Yeah.
It's still really surprising.
And then the other important game was for the number 1 seed, Thunder Buddies against Jagerbomb.
Yeah.
Just to quickly go over that one, it was a back and forth game like everyone expected. A lot of more interceptions than I had predicted in this one. Jagerbomb coming out on top,
Yeah.
getting the 1 seed going into the playoffs.
Yep. Very impressive win by them.
GF had an amazing game. Crazy,
2
crazy
picks.
good game. Yeah.
A pick 6.
One pick where he did sideline to sideline, came
Yeah.
out of nowhere. Steve told me, I saw him come in. I didn't think he could get there, and he got there. He got the pick six, but super nice game. Didn't mean anything for both teams, but we were just basically chilling on the field and having some fun.
When you look at the standings now, it's like as tight as the D1 standings are.
Yeah.
Even worse so in the sense that you have a 6-4 team on the outside looking in, and just remember that because later on in the lower division, there's a couple of teams losing records that made the playoffs, and here in Division 2 you got a 6-4 team that's not making them.
It's like the NFC East. You always get a winner of 8 and 9.
Well, maybe not this year because the
Maybe
NFC
not
is
this
probably
year.
the best division in football, and
Touché.
historically, before you were born, it was also the best division.
Well,
in
that
football.
was before I was born. Nothing matters before
Do you
I
want
was
us
born.
to edit that part?
No,
So we don't look like-
no,
you're sure?
no, nothing matters before I was born.
It's literally the division with the most Super Bowls.
Well, that was like when my grandmother was 3, so
Like the NFC's won like 6 straight Super Bowls in the 90s.
when my grandmother was 3.
One. So let's start with that nice TDs Jagerbomb matchup.
Yep.
That would be a good one.
Actually be a good one for real because when you look at the Nice City's roster, they're stacked and it's crazy. They have Marvin, they have Laurent, they have Thomas, who's a really 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 good defensive player. Then you have Chris throwing the ball, calling the defense too. They have Nicolas Potvin, who's the best tackler in Division 2 history. And like I think they can match up well against Jagerbomb. Jagerbomb have the chemistry. I think they have the experience too. Simon being Simon, super smart quarterback, doesn't force the ball really. He has GF, he has Louis Mathieu now, he has Loic, a bunch of ballers. Also Felix that I don't mention, but because he's low key, but a top
Pulling up
guy
numbers.
with Jagerbomb. So I'd give the edge to Jagerbomb, but at the same time, like Nice TDs have a bunch of ballers. Like I wouldn't be surprised if Marvin and ends up with like 3 interceptions and Chris throws 5 touchdowns, no interception. Like they can do that. We saw them do that time after time after time. So it's not an easy matchup for Jagerbomb, even though they finished with the first seed.
I don't agree with that. I think it's going to be very easy for Jagerbomb.
I was going to say the same thing.
I think Jagerbomb and Nice split during the season, but Simon Duchesne was not there for both games. Louis Mathieu quarterback both those games. One of them was the week 1 game when it was his first game with Jagerbomb. They won by 2 possessions the second time they played with Louis Mathieu throwing in that game. Now you insert him as receiver. You have Simon throwing. Simon doesn't make many mistakes, if any, during a game. I think Nice will need to play like a perfect game and a mistake-free game. Like they cannot afford to throw an interception in this game, especially early on in the game. I think if had they've been there and healthy for this game, having Chris the receiver option on top of it, it'd be a much closer game. But now I just think that like this Jagerbomb team is like a well-oiled machine right now.
Yeah.
And like they're on a mission, and like there's no real flaw to their game. Like you look at their starting 6 across the board on offense, on defense. Like you don't know many superstars because there's not that many of those guys that play in Division 1 teams like other teams in D2. But they don't have a weakness.
For some reason, I just feel like Nice TDs don't match up well against Jagerbomb. I'm not sure what it is. I don't know if it's the speed. I don't know if... I'm not sure what it is.
I think it's team chemistry. Nice TDs have no chemistry whatsoever.
But Nice TDs matched up very well against Thunder Buddies, and we also have good chemistry. Like they crushed us that game. For something specifically about Jagerbomb...
It's the fact that they're so nice, they don't talk back. Then everybody was talking back nice, they were fueling them. That's why we were getting crushed.
Yeah, maybe. I don't think this game's going to be a blowout, but I'm kind of more with Tara in this one. I'm going to go like 37-24 Jagerbomb with them controlling the game from top to bottom.
I could see Jagerbomb scoring 50 points in this game.
I don't think it's going to be a blowout. Like, yes, Jagerbomb are favorites, but I don't think it's going to be a blowout.
What's your score prediction?
Jagerbomb winning by 10. So maybe, I don't know, I'd say like 39-29.
Okay. I'd say 50-31.
Wow.
We have 50, eh?
Yeah,
that's a lot.
I think they put up 50 in the last 3 games or something, Jagerbomb. No, they put up 50 against Thunder Buddies. They put up 50 against Red Raiders.
They put up 50 this week?
Yeah, they got a pick 6 last play with 50-38.
Oh, facts.
Yeah.
Facts.
Well, Nice T's got a chip on their shoulder now because of us.
Yeah.
Go out and use it.
And Jagerbomb got a tiger on their back now.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah.
So the other matchup, we got Thunder Buddies, Red Raiders.
Yep.
Crazy matchup.
Speaking about quarterbacks who teams have not seen, like Nice T's have not seen Simon.
Yep.
Raiders have not seen Steve throw against them this season because I think Dave threw the first time.
Yep.
You threw the second time.
Yeah.
Both times resulted in wins. I was there first time to see the game that you threw, and I think you were the first one to tell me after the game that was probably the best game of your life.
Yeah.
Like as a quarterback, and I agree. And like I find this Red Raiders team, it's shocking to me that A-Team is by far the best defense of D1. Red Raiders is by far the worst defense, including teams who have not made the playoffs in D2.
Yeah.
And it's the same play caller. I know he does not have the same pieces to work with.
But the pieces are good.
But the pieces are
right?
still
Like,
good.
Jerome, Andrew, Dom,
Devin,
Carlos at rush,
Yeah.
Dylan playing defense and calling defense. Like,
Yeah.
that's a good D.
It's crazy to me that they give up 37 points a game on average.
Obviously, we can't pick the game.
And that obviously puts a strain on Mike on offense, right? Like if your defense is not making any stops, not generating interceptions for you, and scoring every play, like I think that's kind of what like made like throw like 17 interceptions this year. He was more in a back against the wall situation. He needed to get that touchdown. He needed that and
force the ball.
Yeah, it's not a quarterback playing with the lead is not the same quarterback when he's playing from behind, right?
Totally. You feel like you got to do too much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like I definitely see this game being high scored. Like, Thunder Buddies by all means don't have like one of the best defenses in the division either. They're all obviously driven by their offensive power. And in this game too, I think each team could afford to make at least one mistake.
Yeah.
But I think the first team to make two mistakes, it's going to be that's the strike that they're going to be
trouble.
out.
Yeah. I think like it's hard to mess with a team with momentum. Definitely Thunder Buddies were going in as the favorites, but backs were against the wall for Red Raiders. They had a playoff game against Tenant. They came away with the victory, and I like to say as the quote unquote underdog in that one.
Yeah.
So a team that has nothing to lose and that's playing for the upset right now. Like they're in the playoffs, they deserve to be in. So definitely like can't count a team like that out either.
And Thunder Buddies are coming into this game losing 2 of the last 3 games, right? Turned out to close out the season.
Yeah.
It's not really the momentum they wanted, right?
Can't pick it.
Can't pick it.
Yeah, I can't pick that one either.
Got to, I guess, see who John and Kevin pick in their articles.
Yeah. Is that it for Division 2?
I think so.
Let's move on to Division 3. So in Division 3, we had 2 teams with a bye. Turns out it's Idaho finishing number 1 and Iron Wolves getting the...
What an end to the season for the Wolves.
Yeah, what an end to the season for the Wolves indeed, because that game against Bin was for the bye.
That last game
against Bin, the winner would have finished in second and it was for the bye. Iron Wolves win that one by 5. Crazy game, 43-38. That could be a semifinal preview right there.
Yep. Chris, 5 touchdowns.
5 touchdowns in that game. Did you get any interceptions too?
Nope.
Are Idaho favorite to win Division 3 by far?
They have a big question mark right now going to the playoffs at the quarterback position, right?
Oh, right. Brady is injured.
Yeah.
Dave seemed to fit in well in his first game. I don't know if he's going to be the one throwing for them in the playoffs.
Right.
It's. I think it needs to be confirmed. I don't know if you know.
Honestly, I don't. If I had to guess, I think he's going to quarterback for them in the playoffs. But I'm not sure if it's set in stone.
Right now, you're starting up against your team that you chose.
It's Rossas. Fun. It gave me fun. I'm happy they made it.
Team you always pick to win even though they didn't win. But get to either thank you or make you regret it.
Yeah. Hope I like you guys winning, but like you guys could chill this weekend.
So let's start off with them. Well, this matchup here, okay?
Yeah.
Because this team clearly has like studs on the team and should not have been a team that just squeaked into the playoffs by the last week of the season, right?
Yeah.
Like Gab Boucher, Yvan Desjardins, Antoine Theroux are like a 3-headed monster for this team, and arguably like one of the if you look at receiving cores of top 3, like they're up there with anyone in this division, right? Yeah. So I don't think it's gonna be as easy as you would think, or like someone would think, because like Master Chiefs were kind of like in play for the 1 seed all season long. You guys were kind of, I think, banging on getting on that bye. You obviously couldn't throw for them since you were playing at the same time with Idaho in that game.
Yeah.
Not to say that Idaho wouldn't have won that game anyway, but it was still a 2-possession game. It would have been a 1-possession game. Yeah. What would you say are the key matchups in this game? Like, what do you say? Without giving out too much information, what do you say you're most worried about, or what do you say you have to watch out for the most?
Like for Master Chief's point of view?
Yeah.
I think you have a lot of speed on the team and a lot of guys that can win 50-50 balls. And Ludwig trusts his receivers, and he's not afraid to go out and air it out. No matter who's out there on the defensive side of the ball, he's going to trust his receiver to come down with the play. So I think for us, it's going to have to be sound of the defensive position and understand that they're going to take shots, and we got to be ready for them. because they got the receivers to take shots deep on the field.
They have Gab, they have Yvan.
Mm-hmm.
They have a really good team. Rossard, they've been playing together for a long time now.
Mm-hmm.
Their rusher is really, really good. I think that's a matchup that you have to look for.
Yeah.
Have you ever played quarterback against him?
Yes,
as a rusher?
I believe he sacked me 2-3 times that game.
Wow.
He's fast. Yeah, he comes in like a bullet.
Yeah, so that'd be a matchup to watch. But like Rossard starting the year 0-4, being able to finish 4-2 in the last six games, that's a great stretch for them to get in the playoffs with momentum. But I think I'd give the edge to Master Chiefs, but a tight game, and it's going to be a close one for sure.
Looking at the other semifinal, we have been against the Double Dippers.
Yeah.
Double Dippers, kind of disappointing season, going 4-6, minus 61 differential. Bin were one of the top teams for a long part of the season. I think Double Dippers are, like, on paper, one of the most talented teams in the division, right? Quarterback by Leon, who's one of the better quarterbacks of the division, obviously has that flag football experience. It really depends what Double Dippers team's going to show up in this one for me, right?
It's like that every week, right, with them. And you always kind of want to pick them because you know how talented they are. But it's always like, do I do it? Do I not? And, yeah, I think that Bin not getting the bye is going to come in hungry. And they're going to want to avenge that loss they did this past weekend. They lost to Iron Wolf. So I think you're going to get a very good Bin team. I think you're going to get a very good Double Dippers team as well.
Talk about a committee of receivers. Looking at the stats for this Bin team, their leading receiver does not even have 300 yards. Wow. And their leading receiver in yards only has 1 touchdown in the season. The leading receiver in terms of touchdowns is like 10th in terms of yards in the season.
Wow.
So like it's pretty crazy how like you really got to be able to stop almost everyone on this team, right? And Simon Baudouin leads this defense. 9 interceptions in just 6 games.
Damn.
Like, that's nuts.
Talk about stellar.
And then they got Michael at the rusher position with 9 sacks in 7 games. So like, this team has it's a roster of a lot of guys, very dangerous from like a lot of different positions, right?
Yeah.
And I think I'd go with Bin in this game just because of the consistency they showed throughout the whole season.
Yeah.
And also it's hard to stop a team when you have to stop like almost everyone on the team, right? You can't just zone in on 1 or 2 guys and say, okay, that's the key matchup, we'll get the win. Like, Bin could beat you with almost any guy. The only thing I think playing in Double Dippers' favor is that they kind of I think they had an off week last week. So it's kind of as if they had a bye week coming in here. Got to rest, got a game plan, got to think about it. Like, they tend to not play 2 good games in a row. They didn't have a bad game last week, so maybe they're going to play a good game this week. So
Yeah, good call.
Your pick, Jeff?
I have to go with Bin too. I've reffed them a couple of times this season. Terry's right. Like you can't try to take away something from them and then put them off guard and all try to beat us somewhere else with somebody else. You take the first option, they're gonna go to the second option. Take away the second option, they're gonna come back to the first option, go to the third option. They really have a bunch of ballers all across. But Simon is really the heart and soul of that team. I feel he's all over the place. He's super super fast. Yeah. He's got Division 2, Division 1 speed. So yeah, I have to go with Bin, and that will leave us with the top 4 team of Division 3.
I'm gonna go Double Dippers. For the similar reasons to you said, Bin, because I believe Double Dippers too also have. I mean, we know they have a sack roster, and I think with them too, it's tough to cover their receivers with the amount of guys that they have on the field, right? You have a guy like Sean Kennedy. You have Manu on that team.
Snapping, yeah.
You have, obviously, my boy Sapliski on that team. A bunch of other guys on the team as well. Nico Potvin, Marco Rich Perez. Like, so this is a team that also has a bunch of ballers there. And I don't know. It's similar to the Rossa situation where I see a good team on paper, and for that reason, I'm going to go with them. I think it'll be high scoring, and I think that Leon will clutch up late in the game. I'm going to go Double Dippers 34-27.
Wouldn't be surprising because Leon has mad talent. Like, he's a really talented quarterback. He has a crazy arm. That winter season when we played during COVID, like, he would go toe-to-toe against Chris. He would go toe-to-toe against Steven.
Yeah.
It would be really surprising. He would come in, chill in, take out his coat, go 3-0, and then I'm leaving, I'm going home. And you would go, who did that and where did he come from? So when I saw Leon at the beginning of the season playing Division 3, I was kind of shocked because I'm like, that's a Division 2 quarterback for sure.
Yeah.
But they've been up and down all season, and it's been weird to see. But yeah, obviously if the good double dippers shows up against Ben, it could be a blowout for them, and they could get destroyed by Ben also. So it's tough to call out for real.
Division 4?
Division 4.
So Pocket Rockets end up getting the lone bye of Division 4.
After losing 2 straight games.
Remember when we spoke about which team was the most favored in all of MFL, when you would take them or the field, and you were like arguing with Pocket Rockets, and I said, nah, G.
It's Armadillos.
It's Armadillos?
Yeah.
I think I was right on this one so far?
So far, yes.
Mustard Tigers doing everything in their possible to getting that 1 seed, winning against Pocket Rockets. They were down big in this game. I don't know if you noticed.
I ref the game.
Oh, you ref the game?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, I ref the game.
They were down, 20-6? Or
20 zip. They were down 20-0.
20-0, and they came back 22-20, and then they beat Binlow Fat 21-20 in overtime. Also being down 13 zip in that one.
I'm telling you, the game I refed with Mustard Tigers against Pocket Rockets.
Yeah, what happened?
It was like 22-0, and then you wake up from a nap, and then you wake up and you said, wait, how was it already Friday? I went to bed on it was Wednesday. Like, it was one of those, like what the heck happened?
Was it interceptions? Was it just stops? What was it?
It was everything. It was interceptions. It was the defense making plays when needed to, not even when it came to picks, making tackles. It was the receivers making great plays. It was our buddy Brisson making crazy catches, stretching the ball down the field. It was Brian Mustard being smarter. It was just a collective. It was Tyler getting sacks. It was literally one player after the other coming up clutch for Mustard Tigers.
Did you dress that one with Gabby or with Thomas?
With Thomas.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was a very impressive win by the Mustard Tigers.
So now because of that, Mustard Tigers will be facing, because the standing is not correct. Let me double check that email that John sent.
Yeah, also, folks, don't check the website for the matchups.
Yeah. Well, at this point, they should be posted in the schedule.
Oh, because it'll be Wednesday when we post this? True.
So Mustard Tigers will be facing Drama Club, who also had a win in your in situation, so they kind of had a playoff game already, winning convincingly 31-12 against Cyclones.
They were never in trouble in that game. I ref that game. It was they were cruising all game. Simon did exactly what he had to do. Getting the lead early on and never looking back, but I don't feel like Drama Club can give like a lot of challenge to Mustard. Mustard have a lot of experience. The quarterback is smart. You have a crazy connection with Thomas. You know how we were talking about Ben right now, like you don't know which players to shut down.
It's literally the complete opposite.
If you play against Mustard Tigers, try to shut down Thomas, the center. Like sometimes he just before the snap he'd look over his shoulder, he'd tell the quarterback, I'm going on a corner, throw me the ball there, and then he'd snap the ball, go on a corner, he'd throw him the ball there, and he'd be open. Like you can't let him get open on every single down. It's crazy.
Yeah.
He has how many receptions? 41 receptions. It's because John has as many receptions. David has 20 more receptions. But every time I ref them, I felt like Thomas had 20 receptions for all the yards and all the touchdowns. It's crazy. On key downs and everything. So if Drama can find a way to shut down Thomas, I can see them winning that game. It's impossible.
And they played early on in the year with Mustard Tigers coming out on top 39-24 in that one.
And I think the same could be said about Drama Club, how top heavy they are, right? Remember we spoke about it at the midseason report cards where like I think Simon took that in hand because he kind of distributed the ball better since. But when you look at it, there's only there's Nicolas with 44 receptions, Ben with 38, Roxanne 23, and then Remy 16, and then it's 11 in all single digits after that, right? 13 TDs for Nico, and then no one else has over 5. If you kind of shut down Nico and Ben on this team, you're pretty much shutting down the team, right?
Lights out.
I think you should throw Roxanne in that mix. Roxanne played really, really good against Cyclones. She's a good snapper with good hands. So I think you have to throw her in the mix with Ben and Nico. So that's like a 3-headed monster that you have to look for.
Yeah.
But yeah, Simon's going to look for those 3 guys. And also run and use his hips the way Babalisa showed him how to use them.
Inside. Show stomach. Picks. I'm going Mustard.
I'm going Mustard, and I don't think it's gonna be close.
Yeah, I'm going Mustard too. I'm cheering for Drama. Simon's our boy with Thunder Buddies, of course. So I hope they can pull off the win. But yeah, it's gonna be really tough.
I'm gonna go 37-26.
I'm gonna go more than that. I'm gonna go maybe like 40-14.
Damn.
Oh damn, that's really not close.
No.
33-23.
You guys are nice.
Yeah, we try. I mean, this is where
Can't be even with
true
everyone on the show. So this next matchup in D4, get your popcorn ready. Phoenix, Revenants. Because remember what happened last time these two teams played?
It was a lot of Marvin from the sideline from Kevin.
Kevin outrushed Marvin in that game, right?
That's impossible.
Who would have ever knew?
I don't believe you. Who was scorekeeping that game? It was probably Nick.
I literally saw with my own two eyes. This game ended 26-12. Marvin had the nicer deep ball in this game, connecting on a gorgeous touchdown.
That's not really hard to do against Kevin.
But Kevin went 11 for 46 and 2 touchdowns, and Marvin went 5 for 23, no touchdowns.
Wow.
Rushing.
Okay,
I thought you meant he went 11 of 46 and won the damn game. I wouldn't be surprised.
No. Talking about Phoenix, it's really hard to say, but Nick Cousset, he's getting better by the snap.
Really is. I threw to him today in Brossard, and he was like, him and Alex were my 2 main receivers.
How old is he? He's 11 years old.
I
no?
think 13.
No, now he's 18, I think.
Well, he's not 18.
He's not 18
He's
for
probably
real.
14.
He has his license. So he has to be 17.
Anyway,
Kevin knows people, bro. He got connections.
the guy is.
Maybe you could ask him for his connections?
The guy is really, 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 really balling out.
Yeah, he is.
Every time I'm reffing him or looking at their game, he's making a play left and right. He had a sick pick this weekend for Phoenix to seal the game against were they playing? I think it was Division 5.
We were watching that game.
We were watching that game.
I'm not sure. I forget. I saw him get a pick.
It was against Last Calls. The Last Calls.
Shoot, no.
He made a sick pick to seal the game. I'm telling you, he's getting better by the snaps.
He really is.
And he's getting taller by the week. Every time I look at him, he's taller.
When I look at those old Thunder Buddy videos, you see Nick looks like 2 years old.
For real. That's why in my mind he's still 11.
Yeah.
So let's not forget Rob White, who led the team in receptions, yards, and tied with Nick for the touchdown lead on this team.
Robbie.
And I think without a doubt the matchup in this game is going to be Khalil rushing Marvin, right? Khalil with 21 sacks at 9 games in division.
Wow.
I'd say by far the better rusher in Division 4 and 5, without a doubt. And Marvin, you know what his bread and butter is. He likes to run. I think against Pocket Rockets this past weekend, he ran for over 10 times for over 100 yards. Wasn't really working on the passing game for him, but if Khalil shuts down those legs, he's going to have to look to pass, right? And hasn't always been easy when that has happened for him. So he's going to have to try to find a way to still be efficient with his legs and try to get plays done with the arm, right?
Marv.
Yes, Marv.
He has solid receivers. They have solid receivers on the squad. Olivier, a good receiver. Yes, name is slipping my mind. Gavin.
Yeah, Gavin.
Good. I mean, everyone on this team can catch a ball and is a threat, but Marv, he runs because of his athleticism, but he doesn't necessarily need to, right? He has the ability to trust his receivers to make plays for him in this one.
Yeah.
And he has a pretty nice ball. It's just going through his reads that is a little bit tougher for
sure.
him,
Yeah.
obviously, because he's a new quarterback. But yeah, he can give Phoenix a run for their money for sure.
Yeah. What's your call?
2019 in overtime.
For
Phoenix.
I also got Phoenix in this one. I said 27-24.
In regulation.
Yes.
I'm going
It'd be tough to win by 3 in overtime.
I never said overtime.
I'm going 22-20.
In overtime or regulation?
No, 22-21. Overtime. Marvin rushing for a 2-point convert.
And they go for 2.
And they go for 2.
Marvin puts his what's on the table
Meaning
and goes
the-
for 2.
Yeah,
So the game ended 2020. Kevin got 1 point. And
Yeah.
Marvin's like, screw that.
exactly.
Ending
Going
now.
for 2, rushing for a touchdown, breaking Khalil and breaking
Kevin.
Nick.
Oh man, I'd love to ref that game.
Nick for a 2-point convert. And
So we all got a close game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
overtime.
Next matchup would be the Randoms against Binlow Fat.
The randoms are good.
They are.
I don't get why though.
The experience of Rod Prudhomme at the quarterback position.
But they also have Mathieu.
Yeah.
It's Mathieu, right?
Yes.
He is an OC. He's on the line of scrimmage. They would call a play. He'd be on the line of scrimmage, look at the defense, go, audible, kill, go 24, and they would change the whole play. And it will work most times than not. And he has really good feet. He's Mathieu Total. That's what I call him.
MTT.
MTT. That's actually a good nickname.
Thank you. MTT. That's what it is
MTT,
now.
that's your new nickname now.
I think it's the experience of Rob, but I also think he's still good. Right? Like, no, I know you didn't mean his experience is not good, but he's also, like, even if there was a lack of experience, he still throws a nice ball.
Yeah.
He still fits in tight windows. He can still run. He's still, like,
Yeah.
when he runs, he runs.
Yeah, and he throws a nice ball. The ball is gold. At the same time.
Oh, yeah. It's literally gold, and also,
Yeah,
like, it's a
he
gold
throws
ball.
a double nice ball.
It's like, you know the French movie, remember, like, the F?
The French movie.
Like, you know, like, remember Deal or No Deal in French? It was like...
La poule ou l'enveloppe.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Nana G used to watch that.
Really?
Yeah, yeah. Whenever I would fake be sick from school, I would go to her place, pretend I was sick, and then we watch L'œuf and Enveloppe.
It was legit the same. It's the
same ball.
Yeah,
It's like he
it's the
took it
same thing.
and he throws it.
Yeah.
So, do it for Nana G, Rob. Been low fat in this one. A bunch of athletes there.
Similar team to like been in Division 3 where like the leading receiver doesn't even have 300 yards. No one more than 7 touchdowns on this team. A bunch of different guys played the quarterback position throughout the season. Their leading thrower has 11 touchdown passes.
Wow.
Wow.
How many do they have combined?
21, 26,
Quick maths.
33.
That's like
But they have 5 different guys with at least 1 touchdown. Like have at least a game, right?
wow.
Bunch of guys with a bunch of interceptions, right? They have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 guys with at least 2 interceptions on the team. That's crazy. So who do you guys got in this game?
I'm going to go randoms.
I'm gonna go randoms too. Say why now. Sorry, didn't mean to cut you off.
No, it's all good.
I'm not like Terry.
You still cut him off though. You
know,
Yeah, but I said I was sorry though.
and also, it's less than Terry usually cuts me off, so I appreciate that. By this time, you would have cut me off like 8 times if you weren't here. I'm going to go, he only cut me off once. Usually by this time, you'd have cut me off a bunch of times. I'm going to go randoms, and I'm going to go randoms.
I'm gonna go randoms too. Because there you go.
I just think, number one, they're feeling it. Number two, Rob has drank it from the fountain of youth and is back to his old self. And I think, like you said, they got ballers left and right. And I think that they are going to roll offensively in this one. 31-26 randoms.
You know how we talk about football junkies, like flag football junkies, people that like they go to bed and they dream about flag football and then they wake up and they go play like a couple of games. I think Mathieu Dupuis, MTT, he's a flag football junkie, and it's really hard to bet against a flag football junkie coming playoff times because he did his homework.
Yeah,
like he's gonna come in prepare. He's gonna he probably scouted. What's their name? Bin Lofat. Like the past couple of weeks, like I think he's gonna come in ready with a bunch of audibles, a bunch of kill, play, run that play, not this one, and he's gonna come out with a good game plan and win the game for randoms.
For all those reasons, I'm also going random. And my score prediction is 37-21, which will be the exact same score when they played against each other this season.
It's just surprising it was that one-sided.
Because it's the closest matchup. Like I think it's a 4 against 5 or a 3 against 4. Usually you would think that's the closest matchup, right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna go 39-28 for randoms.
Okay.
Nice.
Yeah, 4 against 5.
That'd be a fun one to ref too.
Division 5. You've been talking about reffing games. We put our best refs in the playoffs, right?
Yeah, I don't see you reffing on
Like,
Saturdays, bro. Like
He's coming out of retirement.
yeah. Okay. One sec. Give me the cone.
I was legit reffing like this weekend. I couldn't walk after those 2 games. But
Tell me about it.
but yeah, Willie, Terry's back. Terry's back this weekend.
Reffing?
Yeah.
I'll see how I feel. But
Hey, that'd be really
it's a possibility.
cool. Nice.
What is this?
I don't know. High five. Weird high five.
That was the weirdest thing I've seen in my
so
life. Like that was really awkward for Terry too.
Wait, what happened?
So Division 5, let's
Oh,
Misfits 160-6.
what?
Yeah. I kind of spoke to you guys about this in our group chat. Misfits had, it's Lesniak's first of all, 8 touchdowns on 9 completed passes.
Wow.
What happened?
Vultures,
bruh.
Manu had 3 pick sixes in this game,
Oh my god.
Holy cow.
and he threw 7 touchdown passes while throwing 8 completions. That's what happened.
I didn't know Manu had the quarterback in him.
Yeah.
I've never seen him throw.
So Manu clearly player of the week for Division 5.
I think for all of the divisions combined, yeah.
Bro, that's crazy, huh?
That's surprising, man, for Vultures, considering they had their quarterback. Philip Roberts was there.
And a win for Vultures would have secured, I think, the number 2 seed.
Wow.
And
that
look
is
who has it
surprising.
now.
Are you
Our
gonna tell
boys,
us?
the Sour Peeps.
No way.
Sour Peeps finished with the number 2 seed.
That's crazy.
So,
Is there anybody in the whole division that could like
Oh my goodness. Wow.
like go toe to toe with Fighting Armadillos?
I don't think so.
They're stacked, huh? So should we skip like Division 5?
No, I think there is a.
We skip what?
I think there are 2 teams that can go head to head
Should
with
we
them.
just skip Division 5?
Yeah.
What are the 2 teams?
Les Last Calls
Mm-hmm.
and Misfits.
So, Les Last Calls have, in my opinion, the quarterback of the year and the receiver of the year on their team, who I would say are co-MVPs.
Mm-hmm.
Not only because of their offensive prowess, because they're also leading, like, I think, the division in interceptions. One has 9, one has 10, with 13 and 4 bat downs. When you look at the quarterback stats for this on the season and the receiver stats, Sebastian Lucalzate is clearly the best receiver in this division. Guillaume Dubuc-Lacombe, clearly the best quarterback in this division. And it's like, you know how you have like, you talked about depth, like a 1A, 1B, or like a 1, a 2, and a 3. Them it's a 1 and then a 10. Because Sebastian has 20 touchdowns on the season. I don't think the rest of the team combines for 20 touchdowns. Guillaume threw 38 touchdowns. Sebastian has 20 of them.
That's 18
Wow.
to the other group.
Well, someone else maybe threw touchdowns
True.
for them. But then you got Mathieu Lucalzate with 7 and Louis-François with 6. Sebastian, 923 receiving yards on the season.
Wow.
And then you got a couple of guys around the 300s.
Yeah.
So if you could shut down Sebastian, you're probably going to win this game.
Yeah.
It looks impossible though when you're talking about those
Yeah.
numbers.
Yeah, it does look impossible. But Kevin managed to pull it off when Phoenix beat them last game of the regular season, right?
Yeah.
Well, look at how Les Last Calls.
He only had 136 yards in that game.
Only. Wow.
Wow.
And 3 touchdowns.
That's crazy.
That sucks. Les Last Calls gave Armadillos a run for their money week 3, 26-25.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm actually surprised. Because I was watching Armadillos play a couple of weeks ago, and I don't know who I was with, and I was like, "Oh, that's Division 3," and they go, "No, that's Division 5."
And then we invited him on the show.
Sorry. Yeah, no, but you know what I mean. Like,
Yeah.
The what I meant by that, like they're really strong.
Yeah, of course.
They're really. You think they could make the playoff in Division 4?
Yes.
You think they could make the playoff in Division 3?
Yes.
No.
Fight for a playoff spot in
Yes.
Division 3? Like,
Yes.
that's a stacked team,
Yeah.
especially for Division 5,
Plus
right?
218 differential. It's
Yeah.
like, that's nuts.
That's-
But they're not playing this weekend, so let's not talk about them any longer.
True.
And let's preview the Sour Peeps last call matchup.
Sour
Wow.
peeps,
Who are
sour
coming in as
peeps.
favorite Sour Peeps, right? How did they turn their season around? They probably listened to the mid-season report cards.
I think they did.
Podcast.
I think they did.
Winning 4 straight games, 5 out of their last 6. I don't think they're winning this game though.
Really? Mario's not going to be happy with you.
I mean, I haven't seen Mario around them. Like,
No. You haven't been at the field
yeah,
for
but
the
like
past 3 weeks.
I was around them like for 3 weeks in a row, and
He's
I
there
didn't see-
coaching them, right?
No, he was there last week, and
Okay.
he was there the week
No,
before.
but coaching,
and-
not playing.
Yeah, he was
Yeah,
coaching,
yeah.
but he was like coaching. He
Oh,
wasn't just...
So maybe that also contributed to their win streak.
Yeah, maybe, but like Mario is out there, and he's an OC and a DC and everything you need to
Like,
have him do to win a game.
I love this team. I just don't think they have anyone on that team that could stop Sebastien. And like, as much as Mario could like come up with the best game plan, he's not the one that's going to be executing it, right?
Mhm.
Facts. So we have Sour Peeps against Last Calls.
I think, Sour Peeps are athletic, so I don't think he's uncoverable in that game. I still think he puts up his 2 to 3 touchdowns as a receiver, 90-plus yards. But like I said, the Last Calls are my dark horse in midseason, and I'm going to stick with that now. Yeah, I'm going to go with Last Calls winning this game as well.
I got a score of 24-21.
I'm going to go 31-24.
I'm gonna go with Sour Peeps.
Mm-hmm.
25-18.
I'm glad one of us are going with, because 3-0 would have been tough.
Yeah,
Considering
for a
these,
favorite.
Yeah.
No, Sour Peeps. Trust me.
So then we got Phoenix against Lesniaks.
Phoenix.
Why?
Because Kevin's not losing against Lesniak.
Only if it was the finals.
Bro, Lesniaks have a heck of a squad. They're coming in as the better seed.
Phoenix is coming in as a better seed.
Oh, okay, because on the site it says 3-6. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, they have identical records. I think a big thing in this game will be Zach not being there for the Lesniaks.
Where is he?
I'm not sure, but I don't think he's there. I think he was away on vacation for the playoffs.
Don't you know when MFL playoffs are?
That's what I thought. Priorities. Oh, wow. I think I'm going Lesniaks here.
Even without Zach?
Yeah.
Your boy Zach who had 19 interceptions in 10 games.
Yeah. I like Lesniak as a QB. I like him as a coach for the team. They have a athletic team as well. I don't think Zach is the only guy that can ball out on that team. And I think that with every game that's passed with this team, they've gotten to listen to Lesniak more and have bettered themselves as players.
There's two things though. Lesniak just got injured last week. We hope for the best. I hope he's gonna be able to throw for them. Lesniak is what, 7'6", probably.
I think 7'8", but yeah.
In that division, I don't know all the rushers, but I don't believe that a rusher come close to Lesniak belly.
Yeah.
Now he's gonna have Khalil
it's
rushing
funny
him.
You say that, yeah.
Exactly, that's where I was going. Before he cuts, you saw how he was gonna cut me. It's
I
not
was
only you.
I knew exactly what you were gonna say.
I was trying to help you out before you said something stupid.
No, don't worry about it. I got you, my guy. So Khalil is gonna rush him.
Yeah.
Khalil is also 7'2".
Yeah.
3, I think.
3.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be a really, really good matchup to see. He's gonna be able to put those hands on the ball, deflect some balls. I feel like Lesniak as a quarterback, the rusher was a non-factor for him because he's so tall.
Yeah.
He's gonna have to face one now. It's gonna be a center against center at basketball, right?
Yeah.
So for that reason, I think I'm gonna go with Phoenix.
I think
They played a tight one early on in the year. 31-26 Phoenix.
Kevin's Phoenix teams reminds me a lot about the Cowboys. Every
Don't
year
say that, please.
is your year, and every time Kevin gives you some hope in the quarterfinals, and then in the semifinals. Then even though he chokes in the finals, you think this is going to be his year, and he ends up disappointing in the finals. Still with no championship as a quarterback, I believe. Oh, did he win the winter?
Probably
We don't count
not.
the winter anyway.
No. But sign up for winter, folks. It's going to be a fun winter year this year.
That was really good.
So yeah, I see Kevin winning this game because it's too early for him to lose, right?
To lose. Yeah.
So he's
You need some false hope.
Yeah.
So he's more like Aaron Rodgers then,
That's
winning the first round and then choking after.
Yeah, I guess.
I wish I could make a Dolphins comparison, but we don't make the playoffs, so.
Facts. Last time Miami made the playoffs, Nana G was 3 years old, huh?
My mom was still breastfeeding me.
Facts. Nana G was 3 years old.
I think she was breastfeeding me.
No, bro. We're not going there. Score for that game?
30-20. What do you guys got?
I'm going to go 30-24, Lesniaks.
I'm gonna go Phoenix with the exact same score during the season. So 31-26.
Saying that before we look at what the score was?
I think we say this every week about being close matchups, but of all the playoff matchups we've seen so far throughout the show from Div 1 to Div 5, it's hard to find out one game where the team's a heavy favorite. Right? Has there been one game where for sure this team's going to win?
But you guys seem to think that Jagerbomb were going to destroy nice cities.
That's true.
I don't agree with that.
Right?
After that, I think you're right.
Yeah.
It's pretty remarkable.
Good point, Willie.
They call me GPW. It's
GPW. Good point, Willie.
It's pretty remarkable how the schedulers made this
No one
be the matchups.
Yeah.
No, usually playoff matchups tend to be close, especially in divisions where only a few teams make it, 4 out of the 7, in Division 2, for example. So
And
I don't
one.
know. Usually you don't face the worst team in the league when you make the playoffs because they don't tend to make the playoffs.
Yeah, folks,
We got a head actuary over here.
give me some popcorn, please.
Anyway.
Popcorn.
Next up, we got TD Hunters and Vultures.
TD Hunters and Vultures, who just got
I don't get
destroyed.
it. Yeah, I don't get it.
I don't get
And
it.
TD
either.
Hunters will be the home team in that one.
So they win the Twain Coss.
Home field advantage with the Squirrels there cheering.
You didn't get it. I said Twain Coss as a joke instead of Coin Toss.
You said what?
It's okay. It's all good.
It wasn't really a good joke.
Explain it on there for those who didn't understand.
I said Twain Coss instead of Coin Toss.
And what's so funny about
I just thought it was funny. Obviously, you guys have no sense of humor. All right, we got Vultures coming in, losing 2 straight games. Starting off the season hot, they started off 4-1. In this game, we got TD Hunters. I believe they had a bye last week.
Wow. Vultures since week 3 went loss to win, loss to win, loss to win, loss to win. So if you follow that logic, they're losing in the first round.
Say what?
Since week 3.
Yes.
Since week 2, actually. No, since week 3.
You mean TD Hunters? You said Vultures. I was like...
Yeah, I mean TD Hunters, sorry. LW, 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 LW. So the next is an L.
That's why I'm going to go W. I like breaking trends.
And I got Vultures winning this game, so I'm following in Jap's logic.
Yeah, I'm going with Vultures too, just
Hunters.
for that reason.
I think Vultures are too athletic for the TD Hunters in this game. And it's going to be a very close game. Like, Gardner's going to give everything he has. I think he made huge strides as a quarterback this season. This team faced off in week 1.
Yeah,
and
I ref the game.
TD Hunters won a close one, 13-12.
Yeah.
And he's really, really taking this team of free agents and like made them like a solid playoff team, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I just see Vultures winning this game.
I feel like Vultures are the favorites, and I think that with your matchups every week across the board, there's always going to be an upset or two, and I think this is the one game you see an upset in.
Mm-hmm.
They beat them, even though they beat them week 1. I think Vultures are coming in as the favorites, like you said, they are athletic, but I think this is a very athletic team in Vultures against a very smart team in TD Hunters.
Yeah.
And I think that Vultures are also smart, but TD Hunters, I think, have that flag football experience, IQ over them. So for that reason, I'm going to go
Who has
Hunters.
the flag football? TD Hunters has the flag football experience over them? IQ experience? Who?
IQ experience, yeah.
TD Hunters.
TD
The
Hunters.
team of free agents where half the team never played flag football before.
Correct. That's why you call me Willie.
Hey, GPW then!
You want us to tell the folks what we really, really call you, or
No,
you sure?
That's bad.
'Cause-
It's PG-13. It's PG-13.
Actually, when I post a video, it says, is this video made for kids? And I always click no. Even though there's a kid on the video.
Like, just click yes from now on.
That was a
Click
solid
yes.
point, Willie.
Click yes.
The free agent team, great football IQ and experience on
Their
them.
football IQ is very high.
They've been playing flag football for 11 weeks.
So it must be really high if they have a high football IQ then.
Man.
Wow. You are.
Gotta keep the show entertaining. Did we do all the matchups for G5?
You tell us.
It was an easy yes. Brossard.
Are we really talking about Brossard?
Yeah,
I think so.
we have to.
It's playoff times in Brossard?
Yeah. They cry if we don't. So KOB old school getting the buys. We knew that already, right? That was confirmed before this past weekend.
Yes.
I just know the matchups here, eh?
Okay, I know that
Who's 23 playing? I'll confirm it.
Congrès.
Like, are you sure?
Yes, and Red Knot Skins are playing Buccaneer in a rematch, according to John.
So then the standings are good.
Yes.
Okay. Start talking about the Congrès 28-3.
Congrès have a good squad. We saw them play Terry when they first came into the league. Remember, we saw they had a bunch of athletes. I'm not sure actually you were playing at the time, but I was. And you can tell this is a good team, a young team. They do a lot of good things right. Do les Congrès. And I think that in order for, I'll be potentially throwing for 28-3. So I think that in order for us to win this game, it's going to be about being smart, talking on defense, staying disciplined on that end, and for me to play good at the quarterback position, which was fairly easy to do in the last game because the receivers were making some great plays on 28-3. So I think this is going to be a good matchup. I can see it being a high-scoring game. They're Congrès 28-3. I can't pick it though.
Week 2, 28-3.
I can
Destroyed.
confirm. Sorry.
Go
I
ahead.
just want to confirm that is the matchup.
Okay,
Go ahead.
nice.
So yeah, 28-3 destroyed the Congrès 53-6.
Wow.
It was John quarterbacking, so no pressure there, Willie.
Yeah.
But he threw for 5 touchdowns, no interceptions. I think I'm gonna go with 28-3. Congrès are really, really athletic. I ref them for one game. Their quarterback is like, you look at him, you know he's a quarterback.
Yeah.
But yeah, 28-3 have experience. They've been in the league for a long time now, so I have to go 28-3. And they have Willie throwing the ball, so hard to bet against WPG.
Respect.
So just because you guys went for 28-3, I think I was going to go for them, but I got to give Congrès some love. Winning 3 out of the last 4 games. That's how it works on sports shows. No, you can't
facts.
have the same
of course,
opinion,
of
right?
course.
Facts.
So having won 3 of the last 4 games, I've never seen them play in my life. But you said the quarterback looks like a quarterback.
He actually was a quarterback for Grasset.
Really?
I heard. Yeah.
Will's arm's going to be sore at that point. He's throwing for I think 26 teams on Saturday
seriously.
or something like that. So So, yeah, I'm going to go Conquer in this one. In a very tight game. 31-30.
All good. Next up, we have a rematch between Red Knot Skins and Buccaneer. Just played this past weekend. Red Knot Skins come away with the victory 25-21.
With our boys, Miles throwing off for Red Knot Skins. I think I'm going to go Red Knot Skins just for the name. I really don't give a damn about their stats or their season.
Honestly, that's totally okay.
The name is amazing.
Before we move on, has Gab been there for 28-3? Gadoret?
No.
He hasn't showed up.
He wasn't there today.
Okay, can you the other guy? Okay.
Yeah.
Do you know how he's doing?
I think he's doing okay. What do you think, Jeff? I'm not sure.
Hope he's doing well.
Yeah. Comment if hope you're doing good.
So go back to Red Knot Skins, Buccaneers.
I got Buccaneer winning in the rematch.
I think, like, man.
27-26.
Yeah. Buccaneers are such a good team. Red Knot Skins have had a good season. I just think Red Knot Skins have like too many ballers on the back end. Like you look at their defense and it's scary good, right?
They're super smart too.
You got Craig Browning with 11 INTs and Riley Pycombe with 12 on the season.
Yeah.
Those two guys combined for 23 interceptions. And then you got 3 other guys that have at least 3 interceptions themselves. I think Miles is a smart enough quarterback to not make that extra mistake in this game that will cost his team the game. Yeah. And he'll distribute the ball to his playmakers and he'll end up on top.
And at the end of the day, it's MVP Brossard Miles, right?
Yeah.
He steps up every time in Brossard, especially come playoff time. Mm-hmm. He's a legend when it comes to that league, so gotta give him the edge.
You gotta give credit where credit is due, as Mama always said.
Yeah, Mama says a lot of things, eh?
Whew. She got that mouth moving.
You can't say stuff like this.
Oh, she talks a lot.
Do we all make our picks?
What?
Do we all make our picks?
We just did.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's it for Brossard?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Like the relief, right?
Oh, they've won, no? Huh? They've won Brossard, no?
No, there's only one division.
Come on now.
Oh, sorry, guys.
Don't scream like that.
Bold predictions?
Good call. You beat me to it.
It's my show now, Willie. I told you. I'm taking over everything now.
You go first with the bold prediction.
Oh, shit. I'm going to go with...
What do you think of the matchups?
Dylan not having a single tackle in that... No, I'm so kidding.
I'm going to go with Division 2.
Okay, go.
I'll go 3.
Okay.
You go 1, Jeff. Okay?
Okay.
1, 2, 3. I'll go 3.
We'll do all divisions. 1, 2, 3, and then we'll do 4 or 5 Brossard.
Okay. So we do 2 each.
Yes.
Yeah, we'll start with 1. Who's doing 1?
I'm doing 1.
Jeff's doing 1.
Go.
I'm going to go with Iron Wolves Gros Coq. Bold prediction. William Power is gonna end up the game with more interceptions than incompletion. Is that a word?
Yeah, but that's like hard to do.
Why?
But we're not. Interception is not a completion. It's not an incompletion.
No. On defense.
Oh,
you're gonna end up with more interceptions on defense.
Okay. I thought you were thinking you're gonna throw more picks and completions.
No. You're gonna have more picks on defense.
It's impossible to do, right?
No, you're gonna have more picks on defense than you're gonna have incompletions on offense as a quarterback.
But you're picking Cook.
But that's why it's bold.
All right. As a selfish person, I appreciate that, but I don't.
If that happens, like you guys are for sure winning the game, right?
I mean,
but that's why it's bold.
I guess a way we could lose is if
you go turnover on downs,
or Dom rushes for 281 yards.
But do you say that and it's bold because Gokuk are still winning the game? That's gonna happen, and that's your bold prediction.
It's bold because it's that, and because both make it bold, right?
No, if you're able to make that happen, bro.
Because
and if you lose the game, then that's
In Will's world of bold predictions, your bold prediction has to be consistent with everything else said on the show before.
No, that makes no sense.
No, not necessarily. I respect that. You're trying, and I respect that.
Trying what?
No, you're trying your best to do bold predictions.
No. I'm telling you, that's my bold prediction. And after the game, I'm gonna come at you, Willie. I'm gonna say, Willie, where's the dog, Willie?
After a loss.
Okay.
No, because if you do that, then you're winning the game.
The reason we stopped using the table here is because Will would smack it and then the camera goes up and down.
Just so you know, he would pause it and say, Will, stop effing doing that, bro, and then we would play it. That's what actually happened behind the scene.
I'm sorry, table.
I don't care about the table. It's more that the camera shakes.
Sorry, guys.
Okay, that's your bold prediction.
That's my bold prediction.
Terry, Div 2.
Okay. It's kind of the theme of the show. We talked about how nice these are going to get their ass whooped by Jaggerbomb.
I never said that.
Back in the day when OG Panthers existed, We came in playing nice season the first round of the playoffs, and we were hyped. They held us to 0 points in that game. They shut us out.
They'll stank.
So I'm going to say that nice TDs are going to get shut out in this game, and they're going to score 0 points. That's how badly they're going to lose.
Wow.
That's my bold prediction.
It's not really bold because you said they were going to get crushed by Jager.
Yeah, but getting crushed like 60-10, or like it's bold to say a team's going to score 0 points in the playoffs.
Yeah, facts.
Will is bold enough?
Yeah, it's bold.
If Will says it's bold enough, then it's super bold.
You could have went, they would have scored a negative amount of points, but that would be maybe a tad bit too bold. Division 3, I'm going to go with Bin Double Dippers. And I'm going to say in this one, okay, I think these two teams are evenly matched. Both of them have great defenses. While both quarterbacks are good, I'm going to say in this game we got 4+ pick sixes.
4, wow, combined.
Yeah,
Okay.
4+ pick sixes in this game.
So you're going to go for Division 4?
I can do Division 4.
What
You
do
do
you
5 and I do Brossard?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just so I don't get things mixed up, we have the Revenants playing
Phoenix.
Phoenix, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's the game I would have done.
That'll be a goodie.
For sure. I'm going to go with...
I think I'm not going to ref much this weekend because I want to watch a lot of games.
You're playing like 5 games, so like what do you...
And also Terry doesn't need you as a ref. If you have your bold prediction, you can go ahead because I'm still thinking about mine. It involves Kevin and Marvin.
I would just say if there's no punches thrown, that'd be a pretty bold prediction. Okay, Tia, you want to do Div 5?
Yeah, I'll do the 5.
Okay.
I was going to go with Phoenix and Kevin and say that Kevin's going to throw 5 picks and still win the game. But since you're going to do Kevin, I'll do someone else.
Okay, thank you.
Let's see now. TD Hunters Vultures.
Yeah.
I'm going to say that there will be 5 different lead changes in the second half of that game.
Wow.
I like it. Considering last time it was low scoring, so there wasn't too many lead changes.
Yeah, that would be a lot of points for it to be
Yeah.
lead changes.
Safety.
You want to go Brossard?
Yes. Who are the two matchups again? It's us against Concret, and then we got...
Buccaneers, Red Knot Skins.
In today's game, the Miami Dolphins beat the Detroit Lions with Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle each having over 100 receiving yards.
Okay.
In Red Knot Skins' loss
Okay.
to Buccaneers this upcoming weekend, Riley Pincombe and Craig Browning will each have over 150 receiving yards
That's good.
in the loss.
That's pretty solid.
In a loss.
In a loss.
My God.
They'll do their best Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill impersonation by balling out in the loss.
But you guys won.
Yeah, but they ain't the Dolphins, baby. They're the Red Knot Skins. They're the Commanders.
Both Marvin and Kevin are going to rush for more yards than they're going to throw for.
Okay.
And they're going to... Like, none of them are going to throw any interceptions. That's super bold.
Yeah, that's pretty bold.
That's pretty bold. But I think if Kevin runs that much, we're going to need to get the ambulance ready and the oxygen mask.
I
And
like how he self-claims his bold prediction being bold
Yeah,
enough.
yeah.
Ask us to bold enough. That's super bold.
we call that insecurity.
Guys, I told you, it's me taking over the show for real. So that's it, folks.
Is Willie allowed to be on the show next week? Or is he
We'll talk. So please be safe. See you at the Bear. Please, have fun. Bring your flags and your gloves.
Your cleats would be helpful, especially because
I really I watched the beginning of the show a lot of times, so that's why I took over. But I don't know how to end the show.
Honestly, really well. I clap and I say shit. I know what
he
I'm
does
talking
something
about.
like
I
this.
don't know much. I do
Oh yeah, he does this always.
Yeah. So you're doing great.
See you guys Saturday.
See you guys. Playoffs, baby. Playoffs.